I know a genuine Panaphonics when I see it. And look, there's Magnetbox and Sorny.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 fascinating knockoffs.
A replica of the Mona Lisa would sell for a few $1,000s in the United States, but only a few hundred here.
For this list, we're looking at made-in-China knockoffs of popular stores, products, films, TV, and music from around the world. What do you think of these versions? Are there any we missed? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. WuMart.
It's kind of like Walmart.
WuMart certainly sounds like a take on America's Walmart, but the similarities aren't as glaring up close. The company was founded in 1994 and became one of the largest supermarket chains in China. The founder has admitted taking heat from US and European retailers in his mission to expand WuMart, but also points out that it's mostly only English speakers who note the similarities. This is because the English translation bears a resemblance, but in the Chinese characters, they're not very alike.
Who needs the quickie mart?
Their floors are sticky mart.
Still, the company has done so successfully that Walmart could buy it at one point if they wanted to capitalize on the Chinese market. Number 9. Harry Potter and the Leopard Walk Up to Dragon. The Harry Potter franchise has fans all across the globe, with China being no exception. While there are plenty of non-official translations released onto the Chinese market, the strangest of the non-official books is Harry Potter and the Leopard Walk Up to Dragon.
That's not just a dragon. That's a Norwegian Ridgeback.
The cover and the inside is like nothing you would have ever heard of from the story of the boy who lived. The reason for that is that the story isn't really Harry Potter, but more J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit.
Curious. Very curious.
The author of this book took the text from the Middle-earth story and replaced the characters' names, items, and places from the Harry Potter universe. It's a wee bit confusing. Number 8. Jumped Up Kicks. So you want to buy some fresh kicks but don't have the cash to splash out on official brands like Adidas? Why not try one of its several Chinese versions?
I believe they cost somewhere around 800.
And what do you sell these for?
We sell them normally at about $120 US.
Granted, the names might not carry the same clout and they might not be the same quality.
I asked her for Adidas and she bought me Zips. I said, Mom, what are you doing? You ruined my rap.
Adidas stated in 2018 that 10% of the Adidas products in Asia could be counterfeit. This includes products in stores and online, not just at the street market stalls. Counterfeit goods are a huge problem for a lot of global retailers, especially in China. And Adidas isn't the only sports shoes company that has to deal with imitations.
I love counterfeits. It's the best feedback. It's better than like a great review on Vogue. Like if it's working to the point where someone else can profit off that, that means it's really working.
Number 7. Not quite the same cars. Luxury and wealth are big drivers of consumer desire, and what better way to capitalize on that than with the Beijing Auto Show? The problem is, a lot of the huge luxury car brands originate from other countries, so domestic Chinese manufacturers tried to produce their own versions.
Some people say that it looks like a blatant copy of a Rolls-Royce. Others say it looks like a blatant copy of a BMW. And still others think it's just a pretty good-looking sedan.
Examples of Chinese car manufacturers taking inspiration from popular brands include the Huanghai Landscape VA3 and the Lifan 320, a super mini that bears a resemblance to the British Mini Cooper. There are plenty of copycats like this, and these cars have even been sold overseas. Number 6. The iPhone and iPhone A6. Imagine years ago walking into an Apple store and turning on what looks to be the latest iPhone, only for the Android logo to come up. Well, that's what might have happened with the release of the iPhone and iPhone A6.
Clever Android.
The casing on these phones was very similar to the original designs, but Apple fans would be quick to spot the few key things missing from the devices. The software is perhaps the biggest issue, with most being run on Android software. Copycats of phones and Apple products are nothing new, with these two being only some of the examples of the sheer amount of imitation hardware out there. Number 5. PolyStation. You've probably seen plenty of copycat video games in your lifetime, but the PolyStation has a long history. With the massive success of the PlayStation from Japan Of course there were going to be some companies trying to capitalize.
Now see the outstanding technical capabilities of Sony's advanced video game system.
But while the outside might look familiar, it's what's under the hood that will disappoint. The PolyStation is what's known as a Famiclone, a console that emulates pirated games, originally from the 8-bit era. Since the file sizes were small, the console and cartridges could package several games into one. And this approach proved so successful that manufacturers have continued to create versions of Sony consoles. Number 4. WiiWii. While there are indeed countless clones of a wide variety of video game consoles, none are as abundant as those for the Nintendo Wii. Numerous companies produced their own version of the console, including the Sport V, the MiiWii, or perhaps the most pithily named the WiiWii.
WiiWii.
Qisheng Long created this particular Famiclone, but they've used a lot of aliases, including Hummy, Hungmei, King Game, Glory Power, and so forth.
Fake, 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 fake.
But this is just one example of the many challenges that Nintendo has had to deal with over the years. Number 3. Fine art. Everyone's heard of replica art, which has been a booming industry throughout history.
Define the term fake.
But good imitations and versions can take real skill to create, and there's one village in China that specializes in this approach. Near Hong Kong, Dafan is an urban Chinese village that's been described as a fine art factory.
Every month, we would make thousands of replicas of Van Gogh's famous sunflowers. We also painted Monets and Picassos.
Countless Chinese artists flocked to this village to earn a decent living creating Van Goghs, Monets, and many others. While these may look somewhat like the originals to the untrained eye, they, well, really aren't.
This is it. This is my income. So for them to be selling hundreds of these, they're directly taking money out of my pocket.
Number 2. The White House. The place where the leader of the free world resides is an icon for Americans.
The Obama family is moving into a new home.
But it turns out there are a lot of places where replicas of the White House have popped up. There are several across the United States, one in Iraq, in Austria, and of course, China. In an exorbitant display of wealth, a wealthy tycoon reportedly spent $10 million creating this replica of the U.S. president's residence, even featuring a hall of U.S. presidential portraits and an Oval Office with a presidential seal on the floor.
Wow.
The view is good.
Yeah.
You're other side.
This isn't the only instance of China being obsessed with foreign architecture, as they've constructed many famous landmarks and design replications across the country.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Goojje.
Okay, that's it! We just got bought by Google!
When you are not allowed to have something, sometimes you're forced to make your own. At least that's what programmers in China felt they had to do. Around 2010, Google decided it would have to remove its services from the country after a series of hacking incidents and demands from the government to align with their censorship policies.
Our other sites, YouTube and whatnot, have been blocked. So the situation really took a turn for the worse.
This site was launched in response to them leaving. There are conflicting claims over whether the site was purely a spoof, an appeal to toe the government line, or a genuine attempt at keeping some free flow of information. But China has remained without Google since.
Today we don't provide most of our signed-in services in China, and I don't see that changing.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.